Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This week I am doing, well actually I guess it's not this week because I'm catching up, but today I am going to do my 10 and 11 week pregnancy update with baby number 4. I'm currently 12 weeks and 2 days, or no, 12 weeks and 1 day today. So I will post the 12-week video next week. So 10 weeks, I had a horrible stomach bug. There has been some like nasty viruses going around and it just keeps circling. Doesn't matter how much Lysol we use, we just keep getting it. I've been sick 4 times now in the past like month to month and a half. It's been god awful. So I had a horrible stomach bug that probably lasted like 4 or 5 days. And then it like was horrible stomach pain. On January 30th, it was my birthday. I am officially 30 years old. Dear Lord, I am no longer in my 20s. And I was sick for my birthday, so that kind of stunk. I really couldn't eat cake until like a few days later, and I wasn't feeling well to go out to dinner. So it was just not a good birthday this year. On New Year's Eve, I had my second fainting episode. I mentioned that in my 6 to 9 week update. Where it kind of like all started. So I did have my second one, which was 4 weeks after the first one. And this time I wasn't even doing anything that I thought would promote like a fainting episode. I was laying on the couch watching TV and my daughter was about to fall asleep, and then all of a sudden it hit me. And it was just awful. It lasted for a few hours. I had to show my oldest daughter how to get into my phone, how to dial 911, and what she were to say to them if it got to that point. I ended up laying on my kitchen floor for like 2 hours, and then I decided to go get looked at just to be on the safe side, because where the fainting is kind of involved, it's just always best to be looked at. So, of course, I mean, I wasn't dehydrated. I was actually super hydrated. I'm not anemic, because I brought up like, well, maybe I'm anemic. So I wasn't anemic, no low blood sugar. So again, kind of like back to square one, where they just have no idea what's going on. Again, they mentioned UTI. They started me on antibiotics, and then I found out that it wasn't a UTI again. So I'm like, okay, what the heck is going on? I ended up making a doctor's appointment and at my like primary care provider, and my blood pressure was a little elevated, not horrible. It wasn't like normal by any means, but it wasn't like high, or I guess like too high. But she suggested doing like a 3-day Holter monitor for my heart this time instead of the 24-hour, and seeing like maybe if they can catch something. Personally, I don't think they're gonna catch anything unless I have a fainting episode at that moment. So yeah, so she didn't want to refer me to a cardiologist at this point because she thought that they would just suggest the 3-day Holster, because everything else always turns out okay. But they still can't seem to figure it out. I'm so hungry all the time, just starving constantly. So that was 10 weeks. And then basically since then, I've been basically like, I put myself on bed rest. I lay on the couch or in bed all day. I rarely stand a lot. I try to like limit it to less than 20 minutes of walking around because I get winded very easily. And then that's kind of like when all the problems start. So a week later, 11 weeks, I had another fainting episode 8 days after the last one this time. So it was definitely less time. And I was feeling like normal that day, like nothing felt off. Like I made sure I ate. I have apple juice first thing in the morning. I drink like a bottle of water first thing in the morning. I take my B6 vitamin. So I was feeling good, and I decided to go to the grocery store after I dropped my daughter off at school. And I was like taking it slow. I checked my blood pressure when I got there, and it was like 142/75, and that was what it was at the doctor's office a few days before. So I was like, okay, well then it's like kind of staying the same. I should be okay. So I was going down the aisles and again, taking it super slow, just grabbing everything that I needed. And by the time I got to like the 4th aisle, it hit me out of nowhere. I was like, oh my God, this can't be happening. Like, I just want to get my food and check out, and I'm going to be like that girl who like causes a scene in the grocery store. So I walked over to the front desk and I needed a chair, and it was just not good. And then I was like, oh my God, I should go take my blood pressure, because I've been saying what if it's my blood pressure that's causing this, but I've never been near a machine to find out for sure. So I went over to the blood pressure machine, and it had spiked up to 165 over 91. I mean, that's a pretty decent jump. And I went to the OB, and they weren't sure if my blood pressure is dropping and then spiking up, or if it's just spiking and that's what's causing these fainting episodes. She seems to think that it's not baby related, even though I typically only get this when I'm pregnant. So, I mean, it has to be pregnancy related, because I don't have it really when I'm not pregnant. So anyways, she wants to refer me to a cardiologist because she thinks it's more of a heart issue. It's obviously not preeclampsia right now, because preeclampsia usually forms after 20 weeks. So I mean, obviously if I have high blood pressure at that point, we'll monitor it then. But right now, yeah, basically my blood pressure is fluctuating, so they don't want to put me on a beta blocker with this pregnancy like they did the last pregnancy, because it does come down a little bit after a couple hours. I still think it's relatively on the higher end. Again, I mean, my normal is anywhere from 137 to 145 over 70 or 85. But she seems to think that if she puts me on a beta blocker, it's going to drop too low, and then I'll be fainting for another reason. I ordered a blood pressure monitor, so that way I can take it every hour and just kind of see if I'm more on the high end or the low end, just so I have something to go by, just to watch, I guess, even though it is high a lot. I bought a pregnancy planner. I'll show you. The one that I went with is called The 9, a pregnancy countdown journal. I'm pretty excited. Although I never stick to these. I start them and then I don't do them. I'm awful at baby books and all of that. But I thought it was really cute. It has different tracking stuff. Week 5, it says what's up with my head, what's up with my bod, what's up with my nausea. And then it will go on to week 6, and it says, so I had the strangest dream. It has places to put pictures each month and different things like that. So got that one. I might get another one. And then while I was at the OB for that blood pressure thing, they couldn't find baby's heartbeat on their little Doppler thing, obviously, because I'm still probably too early. And I also have a tilted uterus, so I don't know if that really plays into it. But I did have a quick ultrasound. I'll try and attach it to this video. It's super quick. It's a minute long. And this was the picture of the babe. And the heart rate, I believe, was 178 or 176 or something like that. And everything looked fine. Not very active right now. When I had an ultrasound with my second daughter at 10 weeks, she was a little bouncing bean in there, and this one was just kind of laying there. So let's see. I'm kind of bummed because at this point I feel like I'm gonna have to cancel our Disney trip. We had a Disney trip scheduled for May of 2020. I would have been close to 30 weeks. And at this point, with all of the fainting stuff and just feeling really yuck, I don't really think it's a good idea. If I can't even walk down 4 aisles and shop, there's no way I'm gonna be able to put in 20,000 steps at Disney. So we're super upset about that. Anyways, I'm super bummed because it was gonna be the last big thing that we did before the baby comes. So now we'll have to put it off until May of 2021, and we'll have to bring the infant, and we're gonna have to get a larger room now, and it'll be more money and all of that. And then obviously we'll be at Disney with a 10-month-old. So we're still kind of pondering that idea. If we don't go to Disney, we'll do something fun like an indoor water park. But again, super bummed because we love Disney. Oh, so yes. Like I said, they thought I had a UTI again at 10 weeks. So they put me on antibiotics. Again, like I said, it ended up not being a UTI. So I took antibiotics for 3 days, which of course caused me to get a yeast infection. So joys of my life, I had a yeast infection. And I used Monistat because I used to always think that that's what they recommend. But looking at the reviews, there's 71% of a 1-star review because it causes insane burning, you guys. I don't recommend it to anyone. If you have a yeast infection, which they're very common in pregnancy, and they're also very common due to antibiotics, go to your doctors, because it literally, I thought someone had like lit a fire in me. It was so bad. But that's all cleared up. We're all good now. And then the last thing I want to touch up on is weight gain. You guys, I'm not even going to tell you my weight because I'm so embarrassed. And I kind of had a problem with my weight a little bit. Like, it fluctuated a lot, but I gained weight. And right before I got pregnant, I was starting to work out because we were trying for a little bit. And then we stopped trying because I didn't want to have a summer baby. So I was going to give myself kind of 3 months to get into shape and lose the weight and then get pregnant. And that's just not how it worked. And obviously with all of my heart issues and feeling faint and my, heart pounding through my chest, it's not, wise for me to do a workout video at this point. But at 12 weeks, I am the same weight that I was when I was 38 weeks pregnant with Juliana. So it's kind of depressing to know that I am the size I was at full-term pregnancy. So I'm hoping that I don't gain like a ton of weight. Yeah, I mean, I don't look like super big, but it just has me down a little. So I'm gonna work on that a little. I may not post as many pictures just because, like I said, it depresses me because this is the biggest I've ever been. But other than that, I think that is all that I have for a 10 and 11 week update. Oh, one thing that I don't like, you're gonna have to wait, Jujus, is I don't like regular bras right now. So I basically invested in a ton of sports bras because I hate the feeling of underwire right now. But other than that, that's everything. And hopefully my fainting episodes go away so that way I can enjoy this pregnancy, because I mean, it got to a point, it was so bad that like I was hoping that the pregnancy would just end. Like, as awful as that sounds, I just didn't want to do it anymore because I basically felt like I had no control over my body, and I can't even go out and enjoy. I can't even like go outside or do anything with my kids because of the health stuff. So I just feel like, I don't know, really down. So I just hope that it gets better. And I know that it's not that long, and eventually the baby will be here before we know it. Feel free to subscribe and hit the notification button so that way you can follow me with my pregnancy vlog updates. I'll also do like certain videos of, things that are essential, or, what's in my diaper bag, things like that, as well as some beauty stuff. I do get beauty subscriptions, so I may show those on the channel from time to time. But yeah, so thank you.
It's
Bye.
Listen, I can cheat. I can see right where it is and then put it on it.
Good, still beating.
Sounds great. Excellent.
Has placenta formed yet or no?
No, not till 13 weeks and after, yeah. But I can even assess that a little bit, but really at 20 weeks is when the best I can check that out. 178 beats per minute.
Oh, that's a high heartbeat.
Yeah, it's good. First trimester, they should be nice and fast.
Starts to look like more like a human.
Yes, yep. Taking that little baby shape now.
Got a head, a body, limbs.
Yeah, little arms and legs peeking out there.
This one's not as active as Kendall is.
Yeah, well, it's early to feel anything anyway. Yeah.
Well, no, on,
just
on one of the
watch.
ultrasounds.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah.
It was like a jumping beam on Kendall's.
A couple of those. But things look great.